with Nerdette's NewsStand, and I want to talk about a couple situations. Now, the first, and what you are seeing in the background, is video surveillance from an encounter that has been more widely known. This is a situation of cheating on Amber Heard's husband, Johnny Depp, with James Franco. Now, this is a private elevator that leads directly to Johnny's penthouse. Now, this has been seen. This is not new. This is not what I want to talk about. What I want to do is begin to show you a pattern here. This woman married a man, used the man to get ahead in her career, then used Me Too to even propel that more forward, used James Franco, Johnny Depp, and the one we are going to talk about, which we have recently, is Elon Musk. And this is actually brand new now. And the article I must give credit for comes from the Daily Mail. They do a fantastic job of getting a lot of these exclusives. And what I mean by that is somebody is obviously on Johnny Depp's legal team leaking them, which is absolutely fine with me because it shows the absolute degeneracy that is Amber Heard. Right? I'm pretty sure that's her middle name at this point. Now, what I want to talk about is some brand new photos that have emerged, and they are, again, from the same elevator. And I'll repeat this. This elevator is a private elevator that goes to Johnny Depp's penthouse, which has now been sold, but it was something that was where their marital bed was. Now, shortly after the divorce, he did leave, and she stayed there for a while. Mind you, they were still married, things were still trying to be worked out. And most importantly, they were still married. You've got to kind of realize that there was no separation there. They weren't even apart. They were still working things out, supposedly. We're going to get into it. But we now have insert Elon Musk. And I have talked about him before. He definitely has came up, whether it's the possible abuse that he's had at her hand, or the fact that they had a relationship, what most people thought was shortly thereafter, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard separated. We are now learning by these pictures that I'm showing you that that's not the true case. Johnny initially did accuse them of having a relationship a month after they got married. And, he was called frivolous for this. There was a lot of things called petty. But now, the facts, you can't argue with facts. And you can't argue with pictures. You can't argue with timestamps. You see Amber basically in her bathing suit with a towel, loving up all over Elon Musk. And wow, there are certain lows a person can reach. I'm not sure. I honestly can't name anyone that's reached any lower than we've seen as we've kind of went through this case with Amber and Johnny Depp. Whether it's the cheating, multiple times at this point, whether it's the domestic abuse allegations, whether it's falsely accusing a man of something he never did and trying to use it for publicity. All of these things are absolutely disgusting, and she marks every single checkbox. So let's take a look at this article. It's a long one, so I'm going to kind of pick and choose what I share here. But most importantly were these pictures. These pictures are showing, the harlot as we know her to be. I guess that's the best way I can describe her. I don't know, besides just an absolute garbage human being. So it says, Amber Heard is seen cuddling up with Elon Musk in a private elevator to Johnny Depp's penthouse. In these exclusive, brand new images that will drag the Tesla mogul deeper into the couple's explosive legal battle. He was already there. There already has been a subpoena now at this point for his text messages, his emails, any interaction or communication that he had with Amber. Those have now been subpoenaed by Johnny and his lawyers specifically for the case that is here in the U.S. In Virginia, the case on Amber's defamation, the 50 mil case. So Musk insists that the 33-year-old actress had already split from Depp. By the time they began seeing one another in the relationship, it did not become romantic until some time later. Now, as you can see, most of this is false. He's trying to save his own ass here. Not only that, but I do think he is happily married now and not wanting to be involved in this absolute trash fire of a relationship. And that I can absolutely understand. So it says, these surveillance images obtained by DailyMail.com capture his ex-wife cozying up to Musk as they ride the elevator up at the luxury LA apartment complex where she once lived with Depp. Again, their marital bed. Absolutely garbage human being, but you know what? Amber's gonna do what Amber wants to do. I don't think there was a whole lot of love between, on her side at least, towards Johnny Depp to begin with. So let's talk about this a little bit more. Now, we see these, there's nothing more than just what we're seeing here, the allegations, the subpoena. All of that is coming through loud and clear. But Depp did move out of this building, it says, in December 2016. Amber stayed. They sold it for $10.88 million. We're going to go over basically the divorce settlement again. And all of this I've talked about. I don't want to keep repeating myself. It is going to talk about the Washington Post op-ed that, she detailed as her experiences as a domestic violence survivor. Now, we obviously know she was the perpetrator. This lost him, Captain Jack Sparrow. This lost him a lot of respect in the media. This damaged his name so severely that, I don't know at this point if he'll recover. So it says, his legal action further accused Heard of spending time in a new relationship with Musk almost immediately after their wedding. Like, hey, I do want to go see this guy now. Like, what? It just blows my mind, to be honest with you. Like, oh my God. So it says only one calendar month after Mr. Depp and Miss Heard were married, while Mr. Depp was out of the country. Oh, filming in March 2015. The personnel within the Eastern Columbia building, the security guards there, testified that Miss Heard received Musk late at night into Depp's penthouse. Specifically, Miss Heard asked staff at the Eastern Columbia building to give her friend, Elon Musk, access to the building's parking garage and the penthouse elevator. He would come late at night, and then the building staff said that they would see him, hear her friend Elon, leaving the next morning. Oh, you're such garbage. So, Depp doubled down by subpoenaing Musk, and I talked about this earlier, for text, emails, letters, communication he had exchanged with Heard during their marriage or anything, mentioning alleged incidents of domestic violence. He specifically wants to know about May 21st, 2016. Now, that is the blowout that resulted in Heard seeking her restraining order, where she accused him of hurling the phone, where she accused him of being on top and beating her and pulling off her nightgown and all of that. He wants to know if Elon was around her, if there was any, maybe it's Maybelline scars on there. And he's calling it an elaborate hoax instigated by his ex-wife, who faked her injuries with makeup. That's savage. So around 2 months after the breakup, Heard was linked to Musk in tabloid reports suggesting they spent a weekend together in Miami. We now know not only were they spending it in Miami, they were spending it at their marital home. This following April, she was photographed holding his hands. After, of course, Hollywood is so messed up. The sanctity of marriage is gone. Oh my God, after he divorced from his wife, and they have 6 children together. So the relationship was off and on. They finally called it quits in 2018. We've talked about that before. Heard's lawyers came out and said that Johnny was being, when it came to the infidelity within the relationship, called him frivolous, and said that he was trying to basically silence her. He was trying to silence her by wanting to know the truth. Okay. And sources close to Musk described it as irrelevant nonsense. I see it as being extremely relevant, but they declined to comment beyond that, obviously. So Elon and Amber didn't start seeing each other until May 2016. And even when it was infrequent. This is Musk's spokesperson. Their relationship didn't become romantic until some time later. Well, pictures say 1,000 things, right? You can say as much as you want, but if your actions do not add up to the exact same thing you're saying, you're probably a liar. So, not only that, but Musk made a cameo. We talked about these text messages just yesterday. So they're going to talk about the High London court in the messages that, how do I say this nicely? Where Amber sucked Elon's crooked little buddy? We'll go with little buddy. Yeah, for some shitty lawyers again. Sounds completely not legal at all. Now, I showed you in the beginning a video about James Franco. So it says actor James Franco is another A-lister caught up in the ex-couple's legal war after he was pictured riding the same elevator. Now, they go on to say, basically, that he has somewhere in the building he wanted to go. He has another penthouse, so he decided to use Johnny Depp's private elevator to go to his house. Can you tell me if that makes sense? It makes absolutely none. But even so, Depp's lawyers hit him with a subpoena last July and want to grill him over the pair, discussing whether, Johnny at this point doesn't even care that she was cheating. What he specifically is wanting to know between James Franco and Elon Musk is, was there any bruising? Was there any visible bruising? Did she discuss domestic violence? Did she call me a wife beater again? That's what he wants to know. And, with subpoenas, they're kind of going to have to answer to that. I really want to know. Because we now know, obviously, she's the perpetrator of this violence. And everybody keeps going to defend her. But nobody's actually saying anything publicly. We've got so much public declarations when it comes to Johnny Depp. So, you know what? This is great. In the nicest way possible. This is great. You are a thought, Amber. I do have the words to describe you, but I can't say them on YouTube. You are disgusting. You are sleeping around with men for lawyers, for clout. I can't even imagine being that kind of a person because it would never cross my mind. It's disgusting. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about these new pictures. And you know what? As this evidence kind of keeps mounting up, these people are going to have to answer to it. They're going to have to say, I was with her, I saw or didn't see this. So we're going to get some answers pretty soon. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Subscribestar and Patreons. You guys literally make this channel possible. Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris C, Dave Ross, David L, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Sanjuro, Jeremy Burtz, Joe Bustify, Kato Round, Magical Exotic Diamonds, Mighty Pauls, Mike Buckner, Robert, Steve Glasker, Timothy French, Alice Matt Films, Alexander Trapp, Way Else One, and Troy Reiser. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like on the way out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.